So I wanted to stress the importance of paying attention to the DOM plant panel on the right hand side here. That once again, they really work like layers in Photoshop. For example, here's my division tab where it's called box 2. Inside of box 2, which is basically this second one right beneath my my main banner here, if I click on the image tab, it targets that image. If I go down to the next one, it targets the next one. And the next one, it targets. So this is a way of selecting your content in your web browser through these DOM tabs. Okay, so just make that part of your workflow. It's going to be very important. If I go to my box 2, if I target the whole box, it'll highlight the whole box underneath here. If I wanted to delete everything, that whole box and everything inside, I would simply hit the delete key on the keyboard. In fact, I'll do so now. And it's gone. I'm going to undo Command Z to bring it back. Okay, I'm going to save this web page. So, File menu, Save, and this is going to be my first page that the viewer is going to come to. So I'm going to call this one Index. And then target Save. Okay, and click OK, utilizing the main CSS. All right, there it is. Okay, so it's all done. So if I go into Bridge, and we're going to go back to the responsive 2020, there is my index.html. If I double click on it, it opens it up in a web browser. And there is my web page. Okay. And look, it's responsive. Isn't that cool? So, desktop. This will be more for be more for your iPad. And if I move it over some more, that'll be for my phone. Okay, so it works, right? All right, now let me just give you a little bit of a tutorial on what more that can be done with this, especially if a lot of your content is going to be text-based with maybe only a few images inside. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you this way by going to a new page. Now, if I go to my my HTML options, you have starter templates over here. If you can click on a starter template, you may have something in here that'll fit your needs, but then again, you may not. All right, but let's just start from scratch again. I'm going to go to a new document, and we're going to resize this page for various devices. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little division tab there. Okay, first content's going to go here. Now you probably are going to have your banner along the top of your page, so I'm going to just highlight the text in there and get rid of it, but keep the cursor inside. So I'm going to come over here to Insert, and instead of HTML, I'm going to go to the drop list. I'm going to go to Bootstrap Components. And one of the components is going to be a nav bar. Let me go find it right down here on the right hand side under the Insert tab. You have a nav bar basic and a nav bar tab. So we'll go to the nav bar basic. Click on it, click OK. Let's go back to this one. Okay, there it is. Took a little bit to kind of pop in there. But now we have a nav bar. We have our standard nav bar, home, link, drop down. You may not need all of these components. You might want to delete some things, but that's for, I'm going to kind of scroll it back and forth. You can see how each component is resizing according to the size that we're using. So I'm still utilizing my 3 desktop options here. And on this one, I'm going to put in some text. So I'm going to come back over to Insert. And instead of Bootstrap components, I'm going to go grab HTML. And I'm going to grab another division table. Let me undo that one because I want to actually select right down here in the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to add a division table. I don't want to nest it. I want to put it afterwards right there. Okay. All right. So I think that'll work. Or there. That's actually where it's going to be located. All right. And then in here, I'm going to do some things. I think I'm going to change the background color. And I'm going to have the background color and the size of the text change based on the device it's going to go on. So if I choose, I'm going to go back up here to my CSS designer. Okay. And I'm going to hit the plus and I'm going to attach an existing sheet. Now I have my main CSS sheet already saved. So I'm going to click on it, go to browse, and there it is, the main.css. I'm going to click it and click OK. All right, so the main sheet selected, which means my three options are back in business here. All right, the 575, or is this right down here? 576, the 800, and the big one. All right, now the main is selected. I'm going to go to the media. Okay. And I'm going to go to the target the main. I'm going to select, I'm going to select. In fact, let's just redefine it. Hit the plus. We're going to go with the smaller one first. And I believe we said it was 375 or 380 to be exact. I want the minimum max selected. I want the minimum to be 0. So anything between 0 and 380 pixels is going to do one thing. Anything beyond 380 pixels, your website's going to do something different. Okay. So create a new CSS note. We're going to use the main CSS file. Okay. And click OK. All right. Let's add another. Click on this little plus again right down here. And we can see this light turquoise blue is where our first device will be located. Hit that plus again. This one's going to be 800. So minimum max. So from 381, I want min max. There we go. So from 381 pixels, 1 pixel over 380. Max is 800. It's going to do something different. Now we'll do one more. Minimum max. This one will be 381 all the way up to 1600 using main.css as my cascading style sheet document, and click OK. So there they are. All three of them are there. So they're all going to do something different. Okay. All right. So I'm going to utilize my div tab here. So let's do something kind of fun. Let's come over to the style sheet and tell it to use. Now here are my, under the main CSS, here are my bootstrap settings. Minimum of 0 to 380, 381 to 80, and 381 to max. All right. So main is selected. Target the first one, the one for your iPhone. This div tab is just called div. I should have named it. So I'm going to click it, and we're going to call this one, we'll keep it box 1. Okay. And if you come down over here, I don't think it named it properly. Box 1 with main.css. We're going to keep it inside there. Okay. There's box 1. If you come right down here to your DOM, there is box 1. So it's targeted. Now, if we go to the first device, target it, go to my selector, which is the next one down, hit the plus symbol, it selects the box 1. That has to be done first. Now, once that is targeted, go to your text properties. I'm going to click it, pull it on up so I can see my options, and let's do something strange with the text. Let's go to the text, and I think I want to center everything. I'm going to go ahead and center it. See if I get that option there. And I want to make sure I'm inside here. So box 1 is targeted, and I'm going to change the color of the text. And we're going to make it red. Now, with this same area selected, what I'm going to do is, again, with the minimum one selected, my selector should be targeted with the box 1. Go back to my text option, and I'm going to go to my background. Let's go find the background. It's the background. That's the shadow, text shadow. Let's go down further. And it looks like I've got the background right there. And let's make that background kind of a turquoise type of a color. Now, it's applied it. But you don't see anything happening here. Because we're in live view, right? But what did we set these up for? Did we set this up for the larger devices? No, we set it up for the smaller devices. So if I take my slider and slide it over and slide it over, boom, there it is. It changed to red. Okay, you get to see it when we preview it in a web page. You'll see a better view of it. There, now it's red. Now I want to preview it for the iPad for something different. So I'm gonna pull it on back. In fact, let's move it. Let's keep it in here for the iPad. So now with the main selected, I'm going to target the one for the iPad. Make sure the selector is selecting box 1, which it is. Go to my text and tell it to make the text a different color. Let's change it to like a green. And click OK. Okay, and let's see what effect that has. Oh, now look at that. This is changing already. Remember that turquoise blue didn't show up before? So I'm going to save all this. So File, Save All, saves everything. And sometimes it takes a minute for it to actually update. So from here to here, I'm going to go back and redo this again. Go to my text. The text color is green. In fact, let's go to the background color. Shadow and background right there. Let's make it yellow. Okay, I'm going to save all. All right, let's see if we get an effect. Doesn't look like we're getting an effect. I'm going to preview it in the web browser. I'm going to come right down here to the bottom right hand corner. It's called preview. It's like a monitor and a cell phone symbol right next to one another. If I click it, preview in Firefox, let's see what happens. So I'm going to go to my browser, and let's see if we resize. There we go. See? There's the iPad. Go down to the phone. Oh, it won't go down to the phone. My browser won't resize smaller than that. So you have to trust me. When it goes down to phone size, then it will automatically change for you. All right, so we know it's working. It's not giving us the preview inside of Dreamweaver because there is a bug. And we are in live view. Now it should be giving us the effect in live view. If I go save all, I can always reboot it and try it that way. But just keep that in mind. So you're going to be utilizing your div tabs to organize all of your content. All right. So if you want to put in a large image somewhere or some text, say for example you just want a bunch of text. So I'm going to go give it. Go to my insert. I'm going to go target right down here in the bottom. Target a div tab. Say after that, content goes there, and then we can do our, whatever text we want to put into here. Okay, and then you can make changes to it. You can also utilize tables to organize your content, which are very important. So if I'm going to put in a new div tab right down here at the bottom. I think it put it at the top, so I'm going to take this and just drag it down past the others. There. Now it's down here, I believe. That's the box one, div tab. Okay, there we go. There we go. Content goes there. I'm going to highlight it, make it go away. Just backing it up. Now I'm going to add in here some tables. Insert tables. I'm going to nest it inside. Well, we can organize everything by columns. We can organize everything by grids. It just depends on how you have your content listed out on your web page. So I'm going to do 4 rows and 4 columns. And I'm going to click OK. There. So this is how you're going to professionally organize a lot of your content. So I'm going to undo that real quick. I'm going to add one more. Go to my table, nest it inside once again. Now my table width, I want it in percentages. All right. Maybe I'll do 100% for now. Cell padding, cell spacing, border thickness. I keep the borders thick while I'm designing, so it's easier for me to grab and drag and so forth. So I'm going to click OK. There. There are my tables. So within any of these tables, we can add content. Say, for example, you want a photo here and text over here. Well, I can merge these cells together. So we get the table, the overall border, inside of the cells. So if I target all of these, You know, I can actually merge these together. Okay, so let's actually grab a few of these here. Right down here, I can split them or merge them together. I'm gonna get out of live view and go to design view. Really important for cells. If I select all of these cells here, and remember, you got to get out of live view to do this. So with cells and with tables, will not allow you to edit in live view. Okay, and it's also going to be responsive, which is a good thing. So get out of live view, go to design view. So up here, I showed you how you can put text into your div tab. Here, I created a div tab and you can organize everything in tables. This is where you can accurately place your text and your images exactly the way you want it. So if I want all of these to become one table, right down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you have this symbol that represents a one complete cell. If I click it, it merges it together as one cell. And say, let's put an image over here. I'm going to go here and go get an image. And we'll go grab this one. Let's pull that down, and there's my image. Okay? And now notice the reason I kept these cell walls thicker is so when I click on it, I can drag it around and drag it back if I need to. I'm going to take this border, drag it back, because maybe what I want to do is I want to put text next to this image. So I'll target all four of those, clicking and dragging, and then right down here on your properties panel where it says column, right below it, that little highlighted piece says, okay, we can join those all together. And then here you can start doing your all of your typing. Okay. 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 So what if I want to put an image in the top portion and text in the bottom? Grab these two cells. Grab two of those there. I think I'm grabbing two. Let's pull these together. And I'm going to pull that on over. Okay, there we go. I can adjust the cell manually. We're going to make sure we are in design view. Say two of those are targeted. And go get the other two. Okay, now your text can go up in here, and of course you can put your other image right down there in the bottom. So you're just going to organize your cells in such a way. Let's go to live view. Right? Organize them in such a way. Now, the cells don't always have the flexibility of responsiveness. So just think about, how your site's going to be viewed in the long run. So cells can be very, very important. So right down here at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and target the actual cell itself. I can play with whether or not the cell has padding or not. So horizontal and vertical, right? If I want padding, I'm gonna get out of live view, Go back to design view. And let's go to this one right here. If I want width and height for padding, let's say we put in 20 pixels. And 20 pixels. You probably have plenty of pixels already in between them. So if we start to resize this, let's see. I'm going to come down. I'm going to target that again. There we go. Cell padding. It's 8 pixels currently. Now if I put in there 20, right? It just jumped. It's taking a little while to respond. Now you have some padding around your images. So this is a way of actually being able to separate your text from the size of your images as well. So keep that in mind as an option.